When he was 5, the boy's life changed forever. He was born with a 1 in a million legendary skill. The whole village talked about it, then laughed because that skill never awakened. Not once, not even after he turned 30. So he gave up, took a safe job at the guild's front desk, stable pay, kind co-workers, a quiet life. But every time his old friends returned, covered in dust and glory, sharing tales of monsters and treasure, his heart burned again. 10 years of ice couldn't cool that fire. He still dreamed of becoming an adventurer, of defeating the legendary monster, Caesar. But dreams fade, reality doesn't. He told himself over and over, maybe peace was enough, maybe a calm life wasn't so bad. Then, on his 30th birthday, everything changed. Monsters appeared near the town. No warning, no reason, and a woman was walking straight into danger. Before thinking, Jack ran. He thought he was running to his death, but the woman shouted for him to move, and in the next heartbeat, cut the monster in half with a single strike. That was the first time Jack met Lynette, and she would change his life forever. She was an S-rank adventurer, a living legend. Jack could barely speak. Simple. He asked, "Do you think someone like me could still become an adventurer at 30? Lynette answered honestly, "The courage you showed today, that's what adventurers need most. But you know the rules. If your magic isn't trained from childhood, it never grows. Without magic, you can't fight." In her eyes, his chances were zero. Jack forced a smile, gave birth, but it also set him free. If even an S-rank said it was hopeless, maybe it was time to let go. And then he blurted out, "So, maybe we could grab dinner sometime." Lynette laughed, "If I'm free tomorrow, sure." For once, Jack felt alive again. He spent the next day smiling like a fool. But that night, on his way to meet her, the monsters returned. Jack rushed to the outskirts and saw Lynette surrounded by corpses. He stayed hidden, watched her fight, watched what real power looked like. Her blade flashed like lightning, every swing fatal. But then she stopped, froze, her eyes locked on the sky. Pain twisted her face, her hands shut, old memories surfaced. A childhood trauma, dragons. Before Jack could react, more monsters came. Other adventurers arrived, B-ranks, armed and ready. Together, they wiped out the rest. Jack watched, heart pounding. That fire he'd buried for years started burning again. Then Lynette shouted, "Run, get out now." Everyone turned and saw it, a shadow across the moon. Wings, a dragon. The ground shook as it landed. The air itself trembled. Every adventurer knew the rule. If you're not at least A-rank, you don't fight dragons, you run. The roar hit like thunder. The shockwave threw everyone down. They tried to escape, but the dragon sealed the field with a magic barrier. No one could break it. Jack stood frozen. Death had never felt so close. He clenched his fists. If he couldn't live as an adventurer, then he'd die as one. He took a step forward, heart steady, hands trembling. And in that moment, deep inside his chest, something woke up, the power he'd waited for his entire life. 30 years of silence finally shattered. The legendary skill had awakened.